Back to Game and Vibes on a Sunday. And I'm sure we got a lot of stuff to talk about this Sunday. First, want to say, how's everybody doing? It's been a very long week for us games. A lot of news to get into. Um, haven't done videos maybe about 3 or 4 days now. Kind of been feeling under the weather. Plus, we got the holiday coming up, Thanksgiving. So trying to prepare for that. But overall, hope everyone's blessed. Hope everyone's in a good space. If you haven't been able to get a PS5 or Xbox Series X or S, continue to try. Continue to do your best. Unfortunately, Microsoft put out some news last week stating that the Xbox Series S and X will be very hard to get. Looking like a restock more than likely will be happening Black Friday, and I'm hearing that maybe Christmas, a couple of weeks before Christmas, they may be a restock again of the Xbox Series X and S, but that's neither here or there. But the consoles are selling like hotcakes. Xbox is doing very well. So is the PlayStation 5, I want to say. And, if you happen to own either one at a particular moment, both have their issues. Can't get around that. That's just what happens when you adopt the first generation or first gen of a console that's new. They got to work out the kinks and the bugs and the softwares and things of that nature. But yeah, I've been having a ball playing Mafia, the definitive edition on the Xbox Series X. I completed the game, first time playing it. So I was actually able to complete it. I actually got a video coming as well, just sharing some screenshots, some video, and also giving my opinion on the actual console. So I've been having a ball with it. Knock on wood, my Xbox Series X has not crashed, have not experienced any issues that has been reported by some gamers. My console has not turned into a brick, and I'm very happy. So let's get into gaming on a Sunday, gaming vibes. There's been a lot of this console war stuff going on. PS5 versus the Xbox Series X. Which one is more powerful? Which one is performing better? There's been reports that the PS5 has been performing on comparable games that both systems can run, pretty much the multiplats. You would think that the Xbox Series X will run the multiplats a lot better due to the fact that they have a more powerful system in a lot of ways, a lot of more teraflops, than the PlayStation 5. But in a comparison which recently was done by Digital Foundry, they compared and concluded that the PS5 is running multiplats better than the Xbox Series X. And a lot of people are up in arms. There you go. See, that's why I didn't get an Xbox. PlayStation is where is that? For me, at the end of the day, I really don't have a horse in that type of race. I'm a gamer, so I play where the games are, regardless of the console, regardless of the fidelity or the horsepower. Last gen, I remember the PS4 was more powerful initially at launch than the Xbox One. And people were up in arms about that because it's like, well, you got the Xbox and you got the PlayStation, and the PlayStation is more powerful. Xbox then made the Xbox One X, and that was more powerful, but what they were lacking were the games. And PlayStation had the games over there, at least the single player AAA games, and you got to give them credit. They make great single player exclusives, and now the roles are pretty much lining up the same way they lined up last gen. PlayStation had Miles Morales, Demon Souls that came out. It was a remake, of course, but it was still an exclusive. And Xbox gave us Game Pass, which is great. Game Pass is pretty good, but there weren't any exclusives that launched. Halo was supposed to launch, but we see how that turned out. So at the end of the day, it's going to be subjective on each individual person's experience, what they feel is more comparable to them and their liking. Like I said, I play on a Nintendo Switch at the end of the day as well. So to me, yeah, I would like the games to look and run its best, but at the same time, I'm not here comparing the two because, like I said in my last videos that I've done, each console has its purposes for me and the reason why I buy them. So I'm going to let a lot of guys out there pick their sides and choose who they feel is the superior manufacturer. At the end of the day, these launch lineups are slim on both sides. So it's not just an Xbox issue. And of course, they acquired these studios, Xbox that is, recently. And it's going to take some time for those games to actually procure and to become available and for us to actually see the real power that the Xbox Series X has to offer. And PlayStation's lineup is looking pretty good. Starting 2021, they have their exclusives that are coming out, which is good. Hopefully by then I'll have a PS5. So I'm not going to be missing out on them. But I'm sure it's going to take some time, maybe a year or two, for Microsoft really to show, their hand as far as, competing with Sony and the single player exclusive games. So that's that. I'm not going to get into the whole console war. It's just, I don't have a dog in that race. I just don't care enough to really even go into all of that. But we know December 10th, Cyberpunk 2077 is about to launch for last gen consoles and current gen consoles. Been looking forward to this game. We know it's been pushed back twice. And CD Projekt Red is trying to create a game that is going to be a game that's going to be talked about for some time, like The Witcher 3: The Wild Hunt was. That's still a great looking game, even though it came out over 4 years ago. But recently, folks at IGN, of course, had the opportunity to have some hands-on gameplay with Cyberpunk 2077. And I listened to their podcast that they did. And basically, it's not the first-person shooting game that a lot of people think they're going to get, that you're going to be walking around just shooting everybody and shooting things. We got to remember at the end of the day, this is a RPG, right, with shooter mechanics. It isn't a shooter with RPG mechanics. So we got to temper our expectations, because for what was revealed on that IGN podcast is that, hey, most of the time, you're going to be going from mission to mission, going from point A to point B by vehicle, and you're going to be talking. You can either talk or you can either use violence or fight to solve a lot of problems. But from what I hear, there's been times where the gamer will go through an hour or so without any type of combat. So I'm not saying that that's not going to be there. You're not going to be able to find it. More than most likely you will. But I want folks to really understand that the reason why this game has been delayed a lot, because it could have been pushed out like any other shooter, like a Call of Duty or a Battlefield. It could have been pushed out and we could have been playing it. But it's the storytelling component, RPG element, and the replayability, right? Because you can replay this game several times from several different aspects, depending on how you start the game. Like whether you want to start out in the city, whether you want to start out in the wasteland, or you want to start out in corporate, you can do that. And I'm sure whatever one you choose, you're going to have different story paths that it will take. So I want people just to temper their understanding of what this actual game is going to be about. Just be patient with it. Rockstar. Rockstar. They're still eating off the fat of GTA 5, a game that's been out like 7, going on 8 years now. It came out in 2013 on the PS3 and the Xbox 360. Would you believe that? But Rockstar recently announced that they're going to be launching new DLC, which will be free, of course, so I can't really be mad at that, called Cayo Perico. And basically, it's another heist. These heists is cool. I was all with the heists initially when they were initiated into the actual online game, and they're cool. But this is completely different because it's taking place in a completely different space than Los Santos. Apparently, you're going to be on an island, an exclusive island, and you're going to have to steal something of the sort. You're going to have new weapons, new guns, new vehicles, obviously a new DLC story pertaining around this heist. And I was kind of hoping for maybe single player DLC. I was holding out for it. I was like, maybe this is when they're actually going to drop some single player DLC. And then no, that's not what we got. And then I understand now because it really doesn't make sense to, because they're currently working on GTA 6. GTA 5 has made over $1 billion at this particular point alone. And then they're continuously updating the online component of the game. So that's going to continuously rake in more money, more dough. So why fix something if it ain't broke? Most of the time when DLC is dropped for some games, I repeat, some games, they're dropping the DLC because the meat of the game wasn't enough. Like Destiny, the meat of Destiny alone in itself, without any of the DLC that went along with it, was just not enough. The story wasn't enough. The gameplay wasn't enough. But that's not going to entice Rockstar to feel like they need to actually create single player DLC, something that a lot of us have been wanting for. In that particular GTA 5 universe, it could have gone a lot of ways with single player DLC. Hell, we haven't even got single player DLC for Red Dead Redemption, and more than most likely we might not. I just don't understand why Rockstar, doesn't feed the single player component, at least DLC wise, for their player populace. I play GTA Online from time to time, and there's ways that you can stop people from heckling you, but it's night and day when compared to the actual story single player gameplay. So I was just really hoping that they were going to do something like that, or maybe they were going to say, hey, you know what, we got this DLC, but we want to show you some previews or screenshots of GTA 6 that's in the work. Maybe 2021 will bring that, and maybe E3 will have maybe an E3 this year if this pandemic calms the hell down. But at any rate, I'm just not surprised that Rockstar isn't trying to, make anything shake when it comes to that. Yo, what up, Warren? How you doing, brother? How you doing? But I'm just wishing that at the end of the day that they make a game that is not centered around online play. Like at some point in time, like let's get off of the whole online mantra deal. I know it's a lot of money in there to be made, and I understand that's where the money is at most of the time, because what does gamers do if there's no multiplayer? We're going to play the game one time, and you're going to get $60 out of us one time, and that's going to be that. And if you get the season pass, then you probably get the season pass, but you probably got to pay a little bit more with the season pass. But at the same time, the developer only gets that $60 from you one time initially. But with online, you can keep shark passing them to death on GTA 5, and then it's so hard to make money, and the cars are so expensive. That's what I didn't like about the online component of GTA 5. Like, things shouldn't be as expensive as they are. It's online. I understand you want people to come back, you want people to chase the I just think that at the end of the day, they could have done a better marketing practice when it came to that online service, because I didn't like it. I thought it was janky. The online missions are okay, but who wants to play a game where people are heckling you? I want to shout out, word up. I want to shout out former IGN employee, Alana Pierce. And if you guys don't remember or know who Alana Pierce is, she was on the actual YouTube channel Funhouse, but prior to that, she was on IGN. That's why I first caught wind of her. And she's cool. I believe she's from Australia. But she recently announced some good news on her channel that she's actually working for Sony now as a video game writer. And I kind of find that to be really dope at the end of the day. I think she's chasing her dreams, and she just seems to get opportunity after opportunity. She's also going to be in Cyberpunk 2077 as a voiceover character. She actually has a character in Cyberpunk 2027 that she actually voiced. So I think, doors are just opening up for her like no tomorrow. I mean, I wonder what's next. She's going to be making her own game at some point in time. But I want to, give her roses while she's around. She's doing a really good job, and I want to say, keep up the good work. She's very talented. She's very opinionated. She's very well versed and knowledgeable in a lot of the games that she used to cover on IGN, and also the comedic aspect that she also in a way added to Funhouse when she was over there. But she's independent now. She got over 800,000 subscribers on YouTube, so she's not doing that bad at all. Um, so shout out to her, salute her. So there's, the PlayStation is a Japanese-owned company. And normally when they launch their console, meaning the Sony PlayStation, in that territory, it does well. You expect it to do well, and which it does all the time. It always outsells the Xbox. And it's no different in this particular case. In that region, the PlayStations are so far ahead of Microsoft's console that it's not even funny. And it's doing well over there once again. But you can say it's kind of comparable to when the Xbox launches over here in North America. It's going to do great. I'm not saying that it always does better than Sony, because as you can see, the demand for the PlayStation 5, you can say it's a lot higher than the demand for the Xbox Series X or S. But at any rate, the Xbox brand is still trying to break ground over there. Phil Spencer has not given up on Japan or even China. Normally, those particular countries flock towards the PlayStation, and in this generation, it seems like that's the way it's going at this particular moment. But the NPDs for either console in the West or in the East has not been put out yet, so we don't even know exactly who's selling what. We're only going by word of mouth and what people are talking about and trying to formulate. But I would say that at this point in time, the PlayStation 5, I would assume, just from the availability, because I would say it's more easier to get an Xbox than it is to get a PlayStation 5 at this particular moment. And when I was online, when I bought my Xbox Series X, the PlayStation was selling for like $1,500, and the Xbox Series X was selling like, for the highest I saw it sell for was maybe $1,000. So, and I've never seen the PlayStation 5 sold for under $1,000. So it just goes to show that people are going to pay for what they're familiar with and what they feel is, quality content and a quality product. And not that the Xbox Series X isn't, because it is, because I have it and I'm telling you it is. You just have that brand recognition. Like when the PS4 came out and we realized that the PS4 was more powerful than the Xbox One, people was like, no, I'm all done. So I think Microsoft was trying to take a page out of their book from last generation and put out day one a more powerful console. But now people are saying, well, we don't care about the power, we care about the games. But last gen, people were saying we care about the game, we care about the power, not so much the game. So it's like us gamers, we got to make up our mind. But again, I'm not going to get into that whole console war. This one is better than that one. Pick whatever you feel is good for you. Choose whatever you feel, is going to make you happy. Me as a gamer, I'm going to play it all. But I want to ask you guys a question, and this is a fair question to ask. Did Sony and Microsoft purposely put out a small quantity of these consoles to drive the demand up? And that's the question I would like to pose, because I think it's a realistic question to ask. Now, the easy answer on the surface would say, well, yeah, we're dealing with a pandemic. That's why there's not enough consoles. That's why the companies weren't able to manufacture enough for everybody to get like they normally would. But at the end of the day, I don't buy it. I don't buy it because most of these consoles, and let's be real, they're made by machines. They're not necessarily made by people not all of it, not complete. The entire console was made by people with a screwdriver and a screw, screwing it into the frame. That's not what's happening, right? So I think these consoles could have been manufactured a lot better. Not only a lot better with less bugs and issues, but also at a larger quantity. Like I said, Taco Bell, they were giving away them shits. You had to obviously partake in the actual raffle. Pretty much that's what it is. But Taco Bell was giving them away. Burger King was giving them away. So you had enough of these third party franchises to auction off pretty much your console, but you couldn't make enough of them to be in store for day one purchase. So I think there could be, this is like a smoking gun. I don't know if it'll ever come out like, yeah, we did, do this on purpose and we wanted to drive up the demand for the console. Even though you didn't give us any real goddamn day launch title games to play. I mean, it's well, technically you did, but they were like last gen games that we had to play. I still want to play that Miles Morales though. It looks so good. And I heard it's a very short game. I heard it's not even maybe not even 10 hours, like 8 hours or something like that. And I'm cool with that. And I'm cool with it because more than likely I'm going to buy it used. You see what I'm saying? When I get my PS5. So I still want to play that. I heard Godfall sucks. But then again, that's just from what I'm hearing and from what I'm seeing. I'm a single player type guy. I play a lot of single player games. So I'm not really looking to have a team or partnership with anybody to enjoy these games with. But that's just my opinion. What'd you say, Warren? Yeah, I did hear about that in Toronto. A scalper got robbed, I believe at gunpoint. But you know what these scalpers got to do? You got to stop posting in your posts, whether it's on Craigslist, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you deciding to sell these consoles at. Stop posting a picture with 10 PS5s in the background. That's going to piss people off. It pisses me off because I'm like, I could have gotten one of those consoles at pre-order, but you want to scalp, and that's a business now, apparently. And I'm not surprised that people are getting robbed. Like when I went to get my Xbox Series X, I met the dude on OfferUp, and I met him at a Walmart parking lot during the day, and I was strapped. So I was ready if he was going to try to rob me for my money. But I didn't go there with the intention to rob him for his console. That's just not how I work and how I think. But you got to expect people to be that desperate at this particular moment. These consoles are a great holiday gift. We're in a pandemic. Everyone's home. So people have more time readily available to leisure time to play video games. And it's actually a very popular genre of entertainment in 2020, more than people would like to give it credit for, other than binge watching on Netflix. But playing video games, it's a very therapeutic thing that I'm noticing. And from case studies that have been done already, I've heard that playing video games it brings down your blood pressure, it brings down anxiety, stress. These are things that are related to playing video games that are positive, other than every time you go on, there's a shooting or something like that. Oh, you want to point to video games. Oh, he saw it in the video game. He's trying to mimic the video game. Now you get one or two idiots that do try to do that. I'm not going to front, but for the most part, we all just chilling. I've been playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Do it look like I'm gonna go out with an axe and try to scalp somebody? No, I mean it's just common sense. But you get those people who just go above and beyond to push that narrative. But again, if you're a scalper and you selling these consoles for like $1,500, make your money. It's a capitalistic country, but at the end of the day, you're putting yourself out there to become a victim and become a target. Because if I see you got 10 PS5s in the back, somebody might roll up on you like, yo, you got 10? Yo, you ain't gonna miss one. Give me the PS5 or I'm gonna take your life. And unfortunately, it do come down to situations like that, you know? Yeah, Outcast. I mean, yeah, it's damn near like luck of the draw. Like if you was actually able to get one of these consoles pre-ordered, let alone at launch, you see what I'm saying? You should feel lucky. But then again, for me, I like to have things day one. Some people don't. Some people can wait. Like I had a guy that went on one of my past videos that I did, call me out, call me an idiot. It was on this scalper video that I did, and I was revealing to you guys that I conform, I fell, I folded, I went to a scalper, and I got my Xbox Series X. But I was called an idiot for doing it. It's people like me that are making the prices go sky high, and these scalpers to continue to do what they're doing. No, it ain't me. It's the manufacturers who created this. I'll say it again. Sony and Microsoft could have launched these consoles in 2021, maybe quarter one of 2021. Launch them in like March. I mean, they could have done that and gotten the supply and demand chain met prior to releasing them. But then again, these are companies that are here to make money. They're not here to do the ethical thing. They're not here to do the logical thing, the thing that makes sense. They're here to make money. So instead of sitting on them, there's like holiday seasons coming around. Everybody's at, well, a lot of people are staying home due to the climate and the pandemic. Put these shits online and let's see if people buy them. And people were buying them. Like I said, again, I'm surprised that a lot of people came up with $500 to buy this shit. I'm not talking about the scalpers. I'm just talking about everyday Joes. Like they came up with that money to buy it. So, you know, if you were actually able to get one, man, salute you. I'm still in the hunt for one. To be honest, I asked my girl to get me one for Christmas. I don't know if she's gonna do it though. You see what I'm saying? Because she already said she got some other stuff for me. So if she got some other stuff for me already, and then another $500 on top of it, I don't know if she's going to do it. But and then not only that, I don't know how she's going to get it because you know how hard it was for me to get a fucking Xbox Series X. So I know she's not going to meet. She's not definitely not going to meet up with anybody to buy anything unless it's online or at a store. And it's damn near impossible to get these shits online. Like I was watching my guy, Jake Randall, and he was putting up the times where each retailer was going live with these shits online so you can buy them. And if you like 20 seconds late after it's gone live, like at a Walmart or a Best Buy, you asked out. There's no getting it. So that's just the truth, man. I'm not even going to hold y'all. It's just no getting it at all. But hopefully, you know, my girl makes something shaking. Now I can get it. PlayStation is apparently going to be putting out a Game Pass. And obviously, they're trying to compete with Xbox, which I don't see how they're going to do that because at this point in time, Xbox cornered the market on backwards compatibility in Game Pass. See, it's not just that you can get games every month for free and play them, the latest games. Xbox is allowing you to go back in the backward catalog of games for like 2 or 3 generations ago. So you can go all the way back as you want as far as Xbox One, the original, not Xbox One, the original OG Xbox. You can play games from back then, now. So Sony has been fighting tooth and nail to not bring backwards compatibility, but they did have PlayStation Now, which is a horrible service. I've tried it. I'm not saying it because I have an Xbox now. I also have a PS4 Pro. It's not good. And I don't like streaming games. See, with Xbox Game Pass, you're downloading the game onto your actual system. It's not streamed in from a server. You're downloading the actual game. And I think that's one of the biggest differences, that the reason why Xbox Game Pass is flourishing and PlayStation Now is just dying out. Like they have this ability now with the PS5 that I've been reading that they allow you to play some backward compatibility games, some older games from last gen. I believe it was the popular PlayStation games from last gen, you're actually able to play for free if you have a PlayStation Now subscription, which I do, of course. And I'm looking at the games, right? And I'm like, yo, I got all them shits already. Like if you look on the wall and you look, oh, you can't really see, but I have a lot of those games that they were offering you to play for free on your PS5 because they knew their launch lineup was weak. But with the Microsoft Game Pass, you're playing first party games, exclusive games from Microsoft. You're playing the older games. So I don't see where Sony could really make up ground when it comes to that. Like I think they should have been thinking about that maybe during the PlayStation era, PlayStation 4 era, that is, to build some type of olive branch with Microsoft and ask them, well, how do y'all do that? What could we do? Or I know this might sound crazy, and if you're a PlayStation guy and you might not like this, allow PlayStation users to have Game Pass on the actual console. Now I get it. It's not likely to happen, but if you peep game, Microsoft is going more towards a service rather than just a gaming company that offers a hardware. They also offer you a digital service, whereas Microsoft is not doing that. PlayStation is not doing that. Before you know it, guaranteed, if you have Chromecast, right? They're going to create a Chromecast that's going to have Xbox Game Pass on it. Mark my words. And when they do that, it's a wrap because now you don't even need the console to actually play the games. You can have it streamed to your TV and you playing games, maybe let's say with our internet infrastructure here in America, you playing games at 1080p with very minimal lag. I mean, it's better than that Stadia shit. I mean, I don't know if you guys tried it. I tried it for free. I think they're kind of like if you're running a race and there's 3 laps, they're on lap 1 and Microsoft is on lap 3. Like, yeah, they're on the same track and field, but they just don't have the horses to keep up with it at this particular moment, and they don't have the infrastructure to keep up with Microsoft and what they're offering. Just not there. It's just not there yet for them. So I don't want to sound like a Microsoft pony or fanboy or whatever you want to call me, but I'm just speaking facts. Again, I don't have a horse in either race. I'm going to get both consoles. I already have one. I'm going to get the other at some point in time, and I'm going to be happy. But we got to call it for what it is. There's been a PlayStation bug that's been going around, for the PlayStation 5. And the bug is occurring when you're actually downloading the game or downloading the app to the console. And what happened is it'll put that game or that app in queue, and then it'll pretty much freeze the system, and you will have to then do a factory reset, hard boot. Apparently, this has been going on for maybe several days now. At this particular moment, it's been reported by a large quantity of PS5 owners. But Sony has put out a workaround on how to mitigate that. And I'm doing this video live, so I can't put up all the charts and the captions and everything of the nature to tell you how to do it. But you got to look into that yourself. I'll probably do a video about it maybe next week. Oh, by the way, I will not be doing videos after Tuesday. We've got the holiday coming up. I'm going to be with my family. I hope you're going to be with your family too. So it's not going to be any videos after Tuesday next week. Well, actually this week that's coming up, right? Because today's Sunday. Week started today for me. That's just how my mind thinks. My work week starts today on a Sunday. So Tuesday will be the last day that I'll be putting up videos, and then I'll catch you guys on the following week after this week. But yeah, I mean, listen, man, there's bound to be issues, and I don't understand why people are so perplexed with the fact that there's issues. Like, this is the gaming industry. You got to expect that. And again, I said in the beginning of the video, there are already comparisons as far as graphic fidelity, frames per second, and people are already choosing sides already. PS5 won. PS5 is outperforming. But it doesn't matter at the end of the day because it's video games. And if you call yourself a gamer, it just really shouldn't matter. Warren said, what do you think about that new GTA Online heist? Now, I haven't seen it. I only saw the trailer like everybody else saw. No one else has saw any gameplay of the actual heist. But to me, I just think it's kind of outdated at this particular moment. Like, heists are cool, but in GTA Online, mind you, there's a whole lot of other shit you can do in GTA Online. You can race, you can do heists, you can sell weed, you can sell crack, you could be in a gang, a biker gang, you can own an arcade. I mean, it's just so many different things that you can play tennis. It's just so many different things in GTA Online that you can do that just makes it more than just the typical Grand Theft Auto game. You're actually an avatar living in a real world. It seems like that they created. But with that being said, the heist is about 2 to 3 years old now. Like, we don't like. I don't really get excited for stuff like that. Like, when it first was initiated, because remember when GTA 5 came out, you was actually only able to play the story player mode for at least, correct me if I'm wrong, for maybe a month. You were only able to play the story player mode until they then released the online component. And that was the hype for me. And then after that, it just died down. Now, I get it. You play on an island, Narcos vibe. We're going to be on a new island. Yeah. But how big is the island going to be? How do you get to the island? Like, what's the player count capacity on the island? Like, is it? And then when you get to the island, people are going to be spamming you. People are going to be trying to kill you while you trying to do the missions. That's one of the things I didn't like about GTA Online. And I get it. You can correct that now. But I just need to see more than just an island, more than just, for me personally, give me more story on Franklin. I wouldn't have mind paying another $30 for single player story DLC for Franklin. And I'm not saying that just because he's black, but I think out of the three characters, out of playing with Michael, Trevor, and Franklin, he was the one that I related to the most. He was the one that, came up. You know what I mean? So the island is not for free roam. I didn't even know that. So he's supposed to team up with the Navy. See, this is all new news to me, Warren. That's why I got to bring you on. I got to find out. We got to email each other and find out when I can bring you on, because I didn't even know that. I thought it was this completely open island where you can free roam and do your own thing like you do in Los Santos. But I got to look further into that. I don't know if any of you guys played Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Now listen, Odyssey I thought was the shit. I didn't think it can get any better than Odyssey. The story was on point. The gameplay was on point. You get massive amount of hours. You can put at least, if you wanted to see everything in Odyssey, you can put at least 200 hours easy into that game. I've been playing Valhalla and I put maybe an hour into the game. I'm playing it on a 4K TV, my 4K TV back there. And I'm playing on the Xbox Series X. That game looks sick. And I'm not saying it to say you got to see that shit for yourself. You got to have a TV that runs 4K HDR10, 120 hertz HDR. You got I'm telling you, like I'm floored. This is probably one of the best looking Assassin's Creed games. And mind you, that brings me up to another topic, but give me a second. Is one of the best looking, clean looking Assassin's Creed games that I've ever played. Now, listen, Ubisoft makes it. They're known to have a lot of bugs in it. So I'm expecting to run across those. I haven't yet. But the gameplay, the story, the way it starts off, if it's starting off legendary like that now, I can only imagine 20 hours what it's going to look like and feel like for me. It's a really, really solid looking game. And the gameplay mechanics, I think they couldn't have done better. Now, I gave Ubisoft praise just now with that game. What the hell were they doing with Watch Dogs Legion? Now, mind you, I bought it for the PS4 and the Xbox Series X. Listen, don't buy Watch Dogs Legion. I'm going to tell you now. First of all, there's so many bugs in the game. That whole play as anyone mechanic is just not as intuitive as I thought it would be, because everything is kind of generic. You know what I mean? It's not so much a random thing like a roll of the dice far as who you're going to play with, how you're going to play with them. Like, it's so generic how you approach different missions. And then also, you can't save the game properly. Ubisoft has to put out a patch. They still haven't put out a patch. Like, I've put maybe 6-7 hours into Watch Dogs Legion, only to then have all of that regressed as if I only played 3 hours. So I'm like, yo, where the other 4 hours at? Shit is ridiculous. They got to fix that. I'll do a Google call or stream, y'all. Yeah, definitely, Warren. Yeah, Valhalla Fire. Jamie Diaz, I'm playing Morales rolling up. Only games left on my side list is a new Black Ops. Huge fan with the story mode. Always. Yo, salute. Like I said, I can't wait to play Miles Morales. Yeah, I could have gotten Black Ops, but then again, I knew if I would have gotten that game, I'm only going to get it for the campaign. Then I was like, what's the point? And then, yo, these next gen games are $70. It's not $59.99 no more. Yo, Jamie, for the last gen, for the Xbox One and the PS4, yeah, they're $60. But for the Xbox version, it's just $70, fam. $69.99 plus tax. Run you about $74 or some shit like that. Because when I went and picked up Valhalla, dude was like $70 and change. I'm like, yo, what? I said, don't try to beat me in my head. He's like, nah, these next gen games, they're $10 more. I will say this so far though, I'm cool with paying $70 for an Assassin's Creed game, because you're gonna be playing that game for at least a couple of months. If you play it slowly, take your time and experience everything. Like, when I play games for maybe like an hour and a half whenever I play. I can't sit there and binge out for like 4 or 5 hours. I'm getting old. I gotta take naps and shit and eat lunch, dumb shit like that. You see what I'm saying? So I can't play as long as I used to play. But when I play for like an hour and a half. But it's just a fucking $70, man. You heard the zombies for the Cold War is really good. Yeah, for one game, it's just $70. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm not gonna cap. I played Call of Duty. What is it? What is the one where they was like doing the oddest? No, did they have whatever one came out before this one? The one before that one. That was the last Call of Duty I played with the zombie joints, and you got to open the different gates and get the different keys. And yeah, that's cool. I haven't played this one yet, so I can't even knock it. I can't even say it's bad or good. But if you enjoy it, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, Outcast, that's the same thing I heard too. I heard that that's one of the biggest gripes. People said they wish the game was a lot longer, at least comparable to the last Spider-Man that came out on the PS4. Make it half the length of that one at least. Or what I thought they was gonna do with Miles Morales, I thought they was gonna open up different boroughs. Like yo, we going to Brooklyn. We ain't gonna just stay in uptown Manhattan or Harlem. Now we're gonna go to Brooklyn. We're gonna go to Queens. We're gonna go to Shaolin. I thought they was gonna move them around a little bit, and that would have really opened it up. But I just feel like from watching other people play and from the presentation of it, it has that whole New York vibe, New York feel to it. It's wintertime, it's snowing, people are out. When you go to the bodega, you see what I'm saying? You see the Spanish dude. It really looks like 1-to-1 to the city of New York. So I think they really did a good job on that. Oh, these have more side missions. Yeah. Like I said, man. But then again, look, it's a launch title game, right? It's exclusive. I think that shit will come to PC at some point in time, though. It'll never come to the Xbox, but it'll come to PC at some point in time. But then again, they also might throw some DLC at it. You know what I mean? Due to the fact that. But let me ask you a question, though, Jamie. Does it feel like a reskin of the last gen Spider-Man, as far as the city and everything, and they just reskinned the map and just put snow on the ground and made it more festival? Because it looks more festival, like more holiday centered around that time. You know what I mean? So I don't know if they did that. I know Ubisoft is good for doing shit like that. I know these guys aren't, because Ubisoft did that shit so many times with the Far Cries. Like it's a goddamn shame. Every map feel like it's the same with just different geography and shit like that. Like they're good for that. But yeah, man, like I would recommend, though. I'm not capping. If you want to get Assassin's Creed Valhalla, get it now before Cyberpunk 2077 come out, because both of these games is going to take you at least a couple of months to do them properly, to play them exclusively. Because it's hard for me sometimes to play like a story-driven game and hop from game to game to game to game. If I play Valhalla, I'm going to try to beat it before Cyberpunk 2077 come out, so I can then give Cyberpunk my full attention on that game and to really get lost in the world. At least that's how I play games. That's how I think. That's how I really get the full enjoyment out of a game. I was also looking to go back and download Crysis, because they recently released a definitive edition of the original Crysis game. But you're actually also able to play it on the Xbox Series X with Game Pass, of course. And they threw it up on Game Pass. I didn't even know. They threw it up on Game Pass. They threw all three of them up. I believe, yeah, it's three Crysis. Crysis 1, Crysis 2, Crysis, yeah. 3 Crysis. They got all 3 of them up on Game Pass. And I wanted to go back and see what that looked like, because I remember playing it, but I want to see how it looks now with the definitive edition of it. After I saw what the definitive edition of Mafia looks like and played that through to its entirety and experienced that, I was like, yo, this shit, they on to something here. So I want to see what they did with Crysis, the original one. Yeah. Spider-Man is only like 8 hours, 9 hours, I heard. Yeah. Sounds about right. That sounds, you can probably beat that in 2 days. But I don't know if they might throw some DLC at it. You know what I mean? Because 8 hours is short for an open world game like that. That's really short. You know what I mean? Bro, got 27. I was going to I'll get a PS5, but I'll wait and get a Series S. Just to play. Yeah, man. Listen, folks are knocking at the Series S like it's not a capable. It's a next gen console. Yeah, it might have less teraflops, but you're still going to be able to game at 4K. What are we talking about here? You're still going to be able to game at 30 frames per second? That's not bad. We were gaming at 30 frames last generation. We were cool with that. So let's stop People got to stop, man. And I get it, man. You want to hype up what you like, or you want to hype up what you have. Ain't nothing wrong with the S. It's $2.99, man. It gets you right into the door of next gen gaming. Get you Game Pass as well. Now, I'm wondering if it's going to be a bottleneck though for the Xbox Series X. And the reason I say I'm wondering if it's going to be a bottleneck, because when we start playing the first wave of exclusive Xbox games that come out, like Starfield, right? You know it's going to be for the S as well. But are developers then going to think, well, I can't really go all out like I want to because I still got to make the game playable on the S? Now, if the difference is the resolution, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. If the resolution is what's going to be the biggest difference and the frames per second is going to be the biggest difference, I don't care. You can do that all day. But if you're telling me that you can't make certain components and aspects of the game playable on the S, so therefore you can't go all out, then I'm going to have a problem with that. And that's what the biggest difference with Sony is. They don't have no lower tier PS5. The digital is the same innards and components that's in the hard drive, the one with the hard drive. Excuse me, the one with the disk drive. Excuse me, I'm talking too damn quick. It's the same damn experience as the PS5 with the disk drive that's in the digital. Same computing power, same ability and capabilities. So you're not going to get shorted with that. I'm just concerned that when these Microsoft exclusives start coming out, they don't say, well, we got the S, we got to make it playable on the S. And then hell, they might even still make these next gen games playable on the Xbox One. I don't know. I'm a little concerned about that. I'm a lot concerned about that. Yeah, 1440p, you're not going to, unless you like Digital Foundry, unless you're really looking at the pixels and shit, like, you're gonna be Gucci with 1440p, especially if you got a 4K TV. You see what I'm saying? It's not gonna look how it will look if you had an X, obviously, but you're still gonna be able to play a decent experience. It's not gonna be blurry or that damn bad or different than what you're gonna get. No, bro, guy, it's the truth. It's like it's the resolution is what's gonna be the biggest downgrade, right? It's gonna be the biggest downgrade. You can tell the difference between 1080p and 4K if you have the proper display. But if you're still running a 1080p TV, you're not going to know the difference between 1080p and 1440. You got a 1080p TV. So I don't think you're going to be like, well, damn, I see the biggest difference. Now, if you had a Xbox Series X and you was playing on a 1080p TV, you're going to say, hold on. I need a better display because I'm not getting the full capability out of this console. And that's the whole point. People need to stay within their league or within their lane when it comes to playing games. Like if you can't get a proper display, this is my personal theory. If you can't get a proper display, then you shouldn't buy the most expensive, powerful console of either consoles. Get the one that fits your budget. Get the one that fits what you have. But if you already know you can afford to upgrade and get everything, it's like buying. It's like when you used to go to school, the first day of school, and you lay your school outfit on the bed. You put the shirt on the bed, and you put the pants underneath the shirt, and then you put the shoes at the bottom of the bed on the floor. And you're like, yo, I'm fresh. Ain't nobody could say nothing to me. But just imagine if you got a white tee, you got some sweatpants that you got from Walmart, but you got some Jordans. You're not completing the outfit. Even though people might say you might be able to get away with it, but deep down inside, like, yo, you got a regular white tee on, you got some regular $8.99 sweats on with some $200 pair of sneakers, right? You're not going to feel as solid as if you would have felt if you had the whole outfit. You had a whole rock, whatever outfit, Versace outfit, whatever you. I don't know what the new millennium guys wear. I wear a lot of old shit. You know what I'm saying? So I don't. So whatever you wear, you wear. But you just can't half-ass it. That's what I'm saying. Oh, that's cool, Warren. That's cool. Listen, man. Let me know what you're gonna get though, man. Is it a gaming console? Like I don't know what you're gonna get. But yeah, 1440p, bruh, guy, 299. What we talking about? You can't beat that. Sony isn't even offering you a comparable console for that. You know what I mean? So, but Sony, if you peep Sony game though, Sony is like last gen is last gen. Like eventually, y'all gonna have to upgrade at some point in time. I respect their handle. I respect their message because they've been consistent with their message. But at the same time, you gotta find where you fit in that. You see what I'm saying? You gotta find where you fit in that. What ecosystem fits you? You know what I mean? Like I went yesterday, got Valhalla, but I was also looking for games for the Nintendo Switch because I got games, but I don't got no games that I can sit down and put like 30 hours into. Like they got the little Animal Crossing joints, and I'm not knocking them little Pokemon joints. It's cool. Go over there with that though. That's not my lane. That's not my lane. Like I'm Zelda Breath of the Wild. I'm still playing that. But I was looking for something else that like they had Saints Row, the last one that came out. They had that available for the actual Switch because I'm trying to build my Switch catalog. So they had that for the Switch, and I was like, I need to get some games for the Switch. So maybe Black Friday or holiday sales during Christmas, I'm probably going to grab some Nintendo Switch games because I know I'm still going to be playing Cyberpunk, and more than likely I'm still going to be playing Valhalla. So I'm like, let me get some Nintendo Switch games for the low while I can get them. Oh, where is over 100 hours in that? I didn't know that. Now listen. Wait, they don't got Breath of the Wild 2 out. What are you talking about? Breath of the Wild is still out. They just released Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity. That was like it's like a hack and slash Hyrule Warrior type experience. But Nintendo, they're working on Breath of the Wild 2 though. They did say that. Oh, you wanted to release? Oh, I'm gonna be honest. There's been rumors that there's a new Nintendo Switch coming out in 2021, maybe holiday season. 4K console now, LCD screen. So Nintendo's trying to, from what I'm hearing now, more likely than not, this is true. From what I think and from what I've read so far, that they're not looking to compete. They're never looking to compete, but they're looking to stay comparable to what the other competitors are doing. So Breath of the Wild 2 might be coming out when that next Nintendo Switch iteration comes out, like maybe a Nintendo Switch Pro. Maybe when that launches, then that's when that might come out. But then again, even if it does come out, they're still going to bring it over to the original Nintendo Switch. So that's the same thing they did with the Breath of the Wild when it launched. They still brought it to the Wii U because they were supposed to be on the Wii U first, but they delayed it. Then they released it on the Switch. Then they released it on the Wii U. But if you look at both versions, there's a difference there though. Yeah, that bro got more likely than not. The Nintendo Switch is a success. Is actually selling more. It sold more, I believe, than the Super Nintendo sold. So at this particular moment, and they can't even keep them on stock. And what's crazy about Nintendo, they some shrewd motherfuckers, man. Nintendo games rarely drop in price. Them should stay $59.99. Like if you look on their if you go on their digital marketplace on the Switch and you look at Mario Kart. That shit's $59.99. Zelda Breath of the Wild, $59.99. Their big exclusive games, they don't they really discount them, man. They really discount them. So they know where their worth is. Like, you go to Nintendo for Nintendo content. You're not going to Nintendo because you're trying to play Call of Duty over there. No, you want to play the Marios over there. You want to play the Zeldas, Pokemon. That's what you're going over there for. They have a place for that. And I'm cool with that. That's why I have a Switch. Because when I want to play those kind of games, I'm streaming them shits on Twitch. You know what I mean? But guys, I've been going for about an hour. You said all first party games never drop unless all big sale starts. Yeah, absolutely. That's a key sign to look when they're launching their games. But rarely do you see them lower the cost on their actual consoles or their games in the first place. Hell, the Nintendo Switch is still costing like $299. Wait, $399. What is it? The light, I think the light is $199, and the Nintendo Switch is $299 still. So they don't care. At the end of the day, Nintendo's like, yo, we want our money off the top. We ain't gonna sit here and play games. Look, this is what it's going for. Take it or leave it. That's kind of the mentality that they have. And I can't really be mad at them because they do offer quality content, quality products. But guys, I'm Troy. This is Game and Vibes on a Sunday. Thanks everybody for coming through, rocking out with the kid, Warren, Outcast, Polo, Brug Guy. You see what I'm saying? I appreciate all you guys. Like I said, I'm going to be doing videos tomorrow. I'm going to be doing videos Tuesday. After Tuesday, I will not be back until next Sunday. Well, we'll be doing another Game and Vibes on a Sunday, talking about whatever, Turkey Day or whatever games I've been playing, or I'm going to be streaming though. So make sure y'all subscribe to my channel now if you're not subscribed, because I will put up a post letting you know I'm streaming on Twitch. So you'll be able to hang out with me on Twitch this week still. But I won't be posting or putting up any new videos and content and stuff like that until the following week. So again, guys, I hope you guys enjoy your Sunday. I appreciate everybody for coming out to the channel. Subscribe and come back for more. You won't be disappointed.